Hey guys, I am out in my high tunnel. It is fall. It is February. Oh my gosh. It is September 23rd. I'm out here cleaning up actually. I have a bunch of fall crops starts that I need to plant. And so they're quite a ways in maturity. And I don't know what's going to have time to grow, and we'll see. But I got one big pile of stuff I've ripped out and a smaller one here. And I'm just kind of going down this middle row. And this should be plenty enough for what I have. I got some kale and lettuces and cabbages. I'm going to direct sow some more lettuce in here. So a bunch of other seeds that are quick maturing, like bok choy and spinach and things like that I know will have time to germinate. I also have some onions that I'm going to pop in here and see what they do. I've been going through and got a pile of green beans and all sorts of bush beans that were here, and they all got nipped. You can see the brown leaves right in there. Those are all beans. And I am pulling those out. My tomatoes got nipped hard, as you've seen, but we're still getting lots of blushing. San Marzanos are just now starting to blush. I have a ton of cherry tomatoes ripe. I have a ton of other tomatoes ripe. And every day I come in here and I've been getting a crap ton of tomatoes where my kitchen is just full of tomatoes. I even have peppers that got nipped on the top but are not on the bottom. They're starting to, these are cayenne, so it's wanting to get a bit riper. And as far as I can tell, the weather is going to hold off. I did hear that we have like 3 days that are a 50% chance of snow this week. So which will be the last week of September, which is a little early for us. It was in our forecast one day last week, which we didn't get any rain. I think it would have been snow. But it has been a dreary day. Like all day has been wet, which has been good. Hopefully there's like one fire sort of near us where we've been getting some smoke. Like a football game got canceled midway through because of smoke yesterday. So, but that was the first time anything's been canceled in our town, at least that has affected my family, from smoke this year. It hasn't been too bad. The seasons are definitely changed. It's definitely fall. Seems like it's going to stay in the 50s and 60s from here on out. We've been having fires. It has been nice. I've been enjoying it. And I guess I didn't realize how tired I was until we just picked up a crap ton of compost. The local dump here in town, well, in Bend, they did free soil builder compost. It's normally $26 a yard. It was completely free for the whole month of September. So we rented a dump trailer with my parents and just have been hauling loads, taking crap to the dump, bringing back compost. So we got about 14 yards of compost, which is amazing. It's a little hot, but it'll be good for fall. And I think that's all we're going to need for next year. So it was all free besides the trailer. But if you go halvesies on a trailer for a weekend, it's only $100. Well, $50 each. Not too shabby. So I've been going through here, cleaning this up. Obviously the tomatoes you can see are crazy frosted, but they're still producing. We're working hard. And I think while this is just going to be tomorrow, I'm going to finish cleaning out this row. Come in here and rake up the last bit. Do my just gets the last bit of weeds out. The walkway, which you can see right here. Then this is a bed and this is a walkway right before the trees. Something that bothers me, and didn't even think about it when we were just getting these trees in and planting, is that they're off center, and it does bother me. So there's the arch, which I centered, so it's in the middle of the front doors and essentially leads straight back to the middle of what will be those doors when we put those in next year. But my tree, like one's right here, but then the other one is way over there. So it's like I have enough space to do the main walkway, and then this row over here, the trees are right on the edge, right next to the walkway. And over here, I have enough room to do a bed and a small walkway. So that does bother me, but it is what it is. And I'm not going to uproot these trees because they're doing pretty good and I don't want to deal with it. What I could do is move this pathway to center it with that line of the trees and this line of the trees and center it between the trees, but then it would not be center with the doors. What would you do? Would you move the pathway, or would you just leave it the way it is and be off center? If your brain I have friends that they're like, that doesn't bother me at all. I just think it's fine. Or would it be like me where it bothers you a little bit? A little bit off kilter, a little bit off center. I feel like I'd stick with the doors, which is what I did, because you walk in the doors, come through the arch, and then you're in the middle of the high tunnel. Otherwise, you'd like have to walk to your right when you came in to go down the middle pathway. You understand? Let me know what you do in the comments below. Okay, so I got the majority. I still need to clean up right here, which I thought got all my squashes, but I'm finding that there is actually a lot of live plant of squash in here. I'm going to see if it ripens. If it doesn't, that's okay. Look at all these ground cherries. They all got nipped, but those are mainly volunteers. I had planted one plant this year and it was over here. And these are all volunteers from last year. I mean, you put ground cherries in your greenhouse one time, and I swear I didn't get to eat much off it last year. They must have, but they somehow reseeded themselves. The chickens were in here, so they must have just spread it all around, because that's why I have so many tomatoes that are volunteers as well. But the plan for this week, get this, well, not this week, today and tomorrow, get the rest of this cleared out, and then I got a whole bunch of crap I can take over to the chickens and they can scrape through this. And then I need to plant my fall crops, which I had on my porch, and I was like, I got them out of my truck one night. I was like, I'll put them on my porch and then I'll take them to the high tunnel. One night, a deer came up onto my front porch, which you have to go up 2 porches to get to my door, and nibbled on some of my cabbages. I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Of course, shouldn't surprise me, right? Shouldn't surprise me, but for some reason it did. So I'm gonna get to work, back to work. I've been working, I just did this just now. We went and got compost. It's a very romantic date, you know, a date to the dump and to get compost. Trey and I would grab some lunch in the meantime. This right here, I want to show you. Right here, this plant that is super prolific, and it's all the way through here, is Mullen. And normally I've been weeding a lot of it if it's grubby or looks past its prime, which this bigger one, could still be okay. But look at these younger leaves. I'm going to harvest these and I'm going to save these, because this is, I talked about this in a video, a couple videos ago. Mullen is a super good medicinal plant. It grows like a weed here, which is amazing, because I know a lot of people. I have a friend that used to live down in Florida, and she couldn't get Mullen to save her life, and that was one of the main herbs that she wanted to grow, because there's a lot of respiratory viruses going around, and Mullen really helps clear out your congestion, really just helps you breathe better. It works. And this is one herb that I will always have in my medicine cabinet. And I realized I did harvest a bunch this spring, but not enough to get me through the winter. So I was like, oh, I forgot about I got all of that in the high tunnel that's young. You want it young. You would like to harvest. This is normally kind of spring, but we're kind of creating a microclimate in here. So this is kind of a springtime where it's short and small. That's really when you want to do it. You can harvest it, the flowers and everything. You can harvest it for different purposes, but for the respiratory thing, the roots do too. The whole plant you can use for all sorts of different medicinal purposes, but definitely the leaves work best in teas. A little goes a long way, and you can do steams, teas. My kids really just have grown to love it. I know some people have picky kids. My kids, basically, if I tell them it's for medicine, they're just gung-ho about it. They're like, we know this is going to help us. And then obviously, I don't just do straight Mullen. I add some mint I've grown, or some lemon balm or chamomile to add it in to get a different flavor. I've also seen people add elderberry syrup to teas, which is a cool way to get your elderberry syrup. My kids don't mind taking that, but if you had a picky kid, maybe that would be a good way. You could also combine it with a more fruity tea, like a peach, or something that your kid likes. I think that it is well worth the health benefits. Also, you can do the steam if they won't drink it, but it's great for kids, it's great for adults, it's great for anybody who is dealing with respiratory issues. Save your Mullen. It's quite fuzzy. I know a lot of people say it was their toilet paper they use when they're out hunting. I've also heard people had a bad experience using it as toilet paper, because it has these little fibers on it. You could put 2 and 2 together. So my job right now and the next is to clean out the rest of this, get my fall starts in here before I've moved them into my house. So I gotta get them out of my house. Keep harvesting tomatoes. I gotta start processing tomatoes, because we're at that point. And basically just kind of get this greenhouse done for the fall. It is going to be this first week of fall. We got October coming up on next Sunday. So it's a week from today. I think today is Sunday. A week from today is October, which is amazing. And I was feeling really sad about my garden ending, And now I'm just like, I'm okay. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get this garden in. Let's get the fall garden in. Let's experiment with this growing through the year, and see how far we can get into the winter with these fall crops. Now I have a bunch of fall crops in my small garden that are actually going to be fall crops that have cabbages or cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts on them, and they're growing outdoors, which is perfectly fine. But I want to see how far I can extend it. If I can't get Brussels sprouts, oh, not Brussels sprouts, if I can't get cauliflower or broccoli or cabbages in the winter here because it just gets too cold, then it's a really good lesson to learn. And if I can still get lettuces and spinach and bok choy and things that really love the cold, then that's fine. I just need something to get me through the winter that's fresh and green, because I don't know if once you've grown your greens, you have a really hard time going back to the store and buying greens, because they go bad super quick at the store. When you grow your own, they last forever. Yeah, and I hate having that dry spell, and I have the perfect little micro zone, and I can put frost cover over it just to stretch it through. I think we can get this going. So anyways, I'm a yakka-wacka. It is a weird time. I've never had summer crops this late in the year. It's been fun. So I'm actually gonna go harvest my mullen. And typically I wouldn't pick all the plant and I would want to leave the root. But because I'm weeding this out when I'm done, I don't care if I take all the leaves. And I'll take these in, wash them up, and then let them dry. Just air dry works great. When we went to the Modern Homesteaders event up in Coeur d'Alene, me and my sister, I had, I think, allergies, or it was a cold. I don't know. The spurge, I believe, was in bloom when we were up there. It was everywhere. It looks like a mangy lilac. It's like white and puffy. And I was either having a serious allergic reaction to that, or I had a cold. Either way, the gal's house we stayed at had mullen and outside of the porch. And that was a godsend, because I was doing steams a couple times a day in between breaks and when I get home at night. But the 3 days we were there and drinking the teas, and it was just I think I didn't drink teas that time. It was so freaking hot. I think I just did the steams every day. So it was really awesome. Once you are able to identify these herbs, you get to take that knowledge with you wherever you go. And if you're in a whole nother state, a couple states away, you can they have the same plant and you know how to treat yourself. That was really empowering to me. That it made me realize I need to learn more and more about herbs and how to identify certain herbs, and just really kind of up my skills in that, because it was so helpful to have the mullen there to help me and get me through that weekend, because it was a really special weekend. And if I didn't have that, it would have been sad. And I don't think it's something you can just go and buy. I don't think you can just go to the Walmart and buy some mullen. So anyway, that's my snippet.